Good afternoon. We will now reconvene the regular council meeting of February 5th, 2024. We are rising from closed session with a report, and the report being that council appoints Catherine Buckham to the Municipal Revitalization and Heritage Advisory Committee and appoints Stacy Knight to the Business Improvement BIA Board of Management for the 2022-2026 term of council. Can I have a mover and a seconder? Councilor Byrne, Deputy Mayor Huntley, all in favor? That is approved. Next on the agenda, we have 3 sets of minutes from council meetings, and the motion being that the minutes of the regular meeting held January 15th, 2024, and the minutes of the special budget meeting held January 25th, 2024, and the special budget meeting January 25th, 2024 at 6 p.m. be approved as presented. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Edgerton. All in favor? Those are approved. We have some additional minutes from committees and boards. The minutes from the Millbrook Downtown BA Board of Management meetings held June 1st, July 6th, August 10th, September 14th, October 5th, November 2nd, November 9th, December 14th, 2023 be received for information. Caught up on all those minutes. Deputy Mayor Huntley, seconded by Councilor Nanchoff. All in favor? Those are approved. We also have some library board minutes, and so the minutes from the board meeting held December 19th, 2023, and the special meeting minutes of January 9th, 2024 be received for information. Moved by Councilor Nanchoff, Councilor Byrne. All in favor? Those minutes are approved. Thank you for that, Council. We now have a brief report from Ms. Aya. Bridget, over to you.
Thank you, Mayor. The report before council is PEB 2024-04 road occupancy permits for 2024 special events, with the recommendations that council authorize staff to issue road occupancy permits for special events on county roads to occupy roads in the township for events, festivals in 2024, as outlined in the table in the report. And number 2, that the Township of Cavan-Monaghan provide a certificate of insurance to the County of Peterborough for the scheduled 2024 events/festivals listed in this report.
Thank you for that. Ms. Aya, any questions with regards to the report? We have a long list of events looking forward to this year that are all listed below. There's no questions, then the recommendation of the report is that council authorize staff to issue the road occupancy permits for special events on county roads in the township for the events and festivals in 2024 as outlined below. And that the Township of Cavan-Monaghan provide a certificate of insurance to the County of Peterborough for the listed events also outlined below in the report. A lot of that dimension. Moved by Councilor Byrne, seconded by Councilor Edgerton. All in favor? Those are approved. Thank you for that, Bridget. Next on the agenda is council and committee verbal reports. I believe Councilor Edgerton has an update for us with regards to Mr. Hack.
On January the 18th, we had a Mr. meeting, and Peter Ramsey was the chair. He retired from that, and Ashley Stewart was the deputy, or was the vice president. She stepped up to be the chairperson, and John Colbert was vice. He stepped up to be vice chair. We discussed the porch lights and the bell budget, and went over to parks, and we're looking for information. Anybody interested in the Heritage Awards? Anybody like want to step up for that? Yeah.
Thank you for that. Other updates, Councilor Natchok.
Thank you, Chair. Through you. First report is tomorrow is going to be the second meeting of the Special Services Advisory Committee with Centennial Place. Hasn't met in quite a little while. We met back in November just to establish a new group of individuals on the board. So more to report when in the following meeting. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Seeing no others, I just have sorry, Councilor Byrne.
Excuse me. Yeah, through the chair. I had the pleasure and the opportunity to go down to Kawartha Downs on Sunday. I got invited down by the Cavan Football League, which is also referred to as the soccer league. Tremendous event, hundreds of people there from the community, very family oriented, a very nice afternoon. They got the luxury of the sun. I think it was well received, and I'm always amazed and impressed by the volunteer staff that they have and the work that they do in the community.
Thank you, Councillor Byrne. With regards to advisory committee meetings, I recently attended the most recent meeting of the medical board and just update on their year end and moving forward with that committee. And in addition, we have a library meeting coming up, or I guess it was since the past meeting, we had our most recent library board meeting. We further discussed refinements to the strategic plan and are hoping to finalize that document at the next meeting in February. Seeing no more updates, can I look for a mover to receive those updates? Councillor Byrne, Councillor Natchoff, all in favor? Those are received. The next item, there is no general business. There is no correspondence for information, but there is an item for correspondence for action. The County of Prince Edward resolution regarding the province to expand the life of the fire apparatus. Ms. Page, do you want to speak to this letter? I know it was included in the package, but I just thought to give you the opportunity.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, to yourself and the rest of council, before you is a resolution that yourself has asked us to bring forward and to send a letter of support to the County of Prince Edward supporting their motion, which is for their mayor to go forward to try to speak to the lifetime expansion of the apparatuses for fire.
Yep, thank you for that, Ms. Page. So the chief, I talked to the chief about this, and it's obviously an issue with regards to expanding the life service. I think Councillor Edgerton and I spoke about this too, and so we're just supporting their motion and wishing them well in their delegations to further that. So we need a mover in a second, or Councillor Byrne, question.
Through the chair. So I get the written recommendations and the whatever, but is there a concerted effort for their delegation to have other support from other mayors actually present wherever they present this, and how does that work?
Ms. Page?
Through you, Mayor Graham, to Councillor Byrne, I would say based on the recommendation in front of us, their mayor is going to take this forward on his own initiative. He just wanted it circulated to other councils, just seeking their support for him to go forward.
Yeah, I agree with the clerk. There's no request for additional support other than circulating the letter for an endorsement, and that's what we're trying to provide them with the motion before us today. So looking for a mover for that report, Councillor Edgerton, Councillor Byrne, all in favor? That is approved. Very good. So, I didn't read that motion aloud. Do you want me to do that, Ms. Page, or do you have it?
Through you, Mayor Graham, from what I understand, it will just be to send a letter of support to the County of Prince Edward.
All right, that was good with the first mover and the seconder. Great. And the next is County Road 10 lane width and intersection of County Road 10 and Falls Line. Ms. Hurley, would you like to speak to that briefly?
Through you, Mayor, to council, just to give you an update, Mr. Hancock is here and he actually has a little bit more background than I do. But we did have a meeting on January 18th with the County of Peterborough, and we discussed a variety of different issues. One of them absolutely is about a county road corridor study that the County of Peterborough has identified for a project in 2025. In our discussions, we talked about the potential of moving that forward to 2024. And therefore, the county has asked our township if we are interested in having that request go forward to County of Peterborough. It would be best if we send a letter requesting it. But I'll let Mr. Hancock speak more to the actual study itself and the importance of the study on County Road 10 with the new potential development that's going forward.
Mr. Hancock.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, through you to council. Specifically, the present study looks at the section of County Road 10 from Falls Line to King Street. We've asked, number one, that be extended to include the section just fronting our office here and takes it through to Highlands. That's number one. Number two, we've talked to the county about the lane widths. There is discussions about what's referred to as 6 lane widths, which we thought was a little much. It is 4 lanes with left and right turn lanes, but we've asked them to look at the configuration of that, and in conjunction with that, they have in their development charges a large amount of money for County Road 10 for that lane width, and we've asked them that should be reconsidered and lowered if possible. So we are asking 4 lanes is probably reasonable. The section from Falls Line to King Street does not have property for that type of cross section. So this study would be moved up to 2024, and we would have some traffic volumes and look at right of ways, et cetera, through that with the county. So they, being Doug Sakosha, the manager, has agreed that it's it could be brought forward and would be best supported by council resolution. Number two, we've asked them to also look at the intersection of Falls Line and County Road 10. That is to be a signalized intersection, and it will ultimately be a four-way intersection. So that will form part of that study when it does come forward. So the results of the study will give us a better idea what can be done with County Road 10, if anything, in the lower section, and certainly what can be done fronting our office, including urbanization.
So just to reiterate then, so what we're asking right now is really just to move up the corridor study so that it's based on, more relevant information and isn't postponed anymore, because as we're really well aware, if you look out the window, the development has already begun to occur and there's more that will be occurring. So we want no delays to enhancements to County Road 10 to support that the existing development, but also the new developments that are coming online as well. Councillor Byrne and then Deputy Mayor Huntley.
Through the chair, I'm just curious with the development plans for the east side of County Road 10, basically from the bottom of the hill up past the township office. In those OKs or whatever's happened over the last while, has there been an extended setback? You were talking about the right of ways and the property being allowed. I know just recently we did that idea in Ida where the new purchasers were restricted from owning out closer to the center line for future development. Has that already happened in that area to the east of the County Road 10?
Through Mr. Mayor to Councillor Byrne, there is presently a setback of 30 meters from center line. We've asked them to review that setback as part of this study also to see if this is beyond the road allowance. So this is actually your building setback. So we've asked them to look at that to see if it makes sense with a commercial entity being built possibly across the road, and whether that setback is going to look reasonable. Sometimes they move the buildings a little closer to the property line in the urban areas. So that was one item we've asked them to review as part of the ongoing study.
Through you, Mr. Hancock, I'm curious, the 4 lanes versus 6 in the study. Sounds like the study should, whether it should be 4 or 6, but it sounds like you're trying to go in with the, the pre result of telling them before. I don't understand the sequence of events there. Can you even clarify that for me?
To Mr. Mayor, to Councillor Huntley or Deputy Mayor Huntley, sorry. Number one, the development charges they had created was based on a 6-lane cross section, and we felt that was seemed a bit of overkill without having the traffic numbers to sort of support that. So the study they're looking at now is a corridor study, which should look at your cross sections, whether they be 6 or 4, and how they implement it. And that then the development charge should be amended to reflect what comes out of that study. So we have not prejudged whether it's 6 or 4. We've just said we thought 6 was a little bit of an overkill. We'd like them to have a look at it, and we'd like them to have a look at it as part of the study.
Yeah, so just for clarity, it was the development charge component that's sort of alluded to that 6 lane. There's been no reinforcement for that other than the basic planning structure. So that's what this corridor study will validate and then provide. Councillor Byrne.
Through the chair, on that note, then, if, like was mentioned, the county has a lot of money set aside for the County Road 10 development or enhancement or improvement, whatever you want to call it, wouldn't it be prudent to utilize that money today rather than find out 10 years down the road that maybe more would have been better and not be able to get it because of the fundings?
To Mr. Mayor, Councillor Byrne, first of all, I'm not sure how much money they've collected related to County Road 10. So I don't know that they have the money to rebuild County Road 10. I don't think it's necessary at this point. They are having the developer put in what's referred to as left turn lanes at Fallis and at Highlands. So that will be handled, and the traffic signals are being covered by the developers with a small portion coming from the county at Fallis Line and County Road 10. As far as the ultimate widening, they are trying to put money aside for the widening of County Road 10, and that would be a project that would be set in their forecast possibly 5-10 years in the future.
Thank you, Mr. Hancock. Ms. Hurley, and then back to Councilor Byrne.
Through you, Mr. Chair, to council, just to let you know that if they move this corridor study forward in 2024, the first thing they will be doing is establishing a technical advisory committee. So all of these types of discussions will be held at that time, and they will review all the documentation. So everything, we're just trying to get them to think about it, doing it now instead of doing it later, especially because we have, development applications that are right before us right now. And the documentation that they're reviewing, not only the background study from the DCs, but also what's been identified in their current transportation master plan. That's why we want to see this corridor study take place, because that might dictate and make those changes. So there will be a lot of conversation about what takes place at a committee level if county council hopefully supports moving this project forward, if that helps.
Through the chair, it's kind of related, but it's not portion of this correspondence, but Councillor Natchoff brought up quite a while ago about the trying to turn left off Fallis Line heading north on the County Road 10. The blind spots that are occurred and the extension that you have to move out into the intersection. Has any of that been addressed, or is there any plan for that, or is this the right time to bring that up?
To Mr. Mayor, to Councilor Byrne, again, first of all, I think we are aware there's a sight line issue next to the cemetery. We know there's a small retaining wall there. In conversations with the county, the signals at County Road 10 and Fallis would ultimately deal with that type of issue with your through lane and left turn lane. Nothing is planned immediately, but they will look at that. I think that's a reasonable concern, that they will look at that as part of this review.
Yeah, the idea is that the corridor study, it will finalize all of these things, so it won't be an impediment to getting these things done. I think there's a bit of chicken and the egg when it comes to DCs, because when you do that policy, you have to identify all these projects without a lot of the granularity of the detail and specificity. So I think it's really critical that the county do bump this up, so we're not, so the longer it's postponed, the less time we have that information, and then there's a further delay to the actual budgeting to get the construction done. So the sooner the better. Councilor Byrne.
Through the chair, just one other thing. Over the last several years, there's been several road studies initiated. Are any of them to a conclusion that's going to help what the county will have to do for their study?
To Mr. Mayor, to Councilor Byrne, I mean, all these pieces of the puzzle, all these studies will form part of the background documents for the review. So I think, yeah, they will form part of it. Yes.
Very good. So I'll just read the motion as drafted here, and then we can have a discussion with regards to if it appeases council. So that council of the Township of Monaghan send a letter to the County of Peterborough and request that Peterborough County accelerate the County Road 10 Millbrook corridor study from 2025 to 2024 to guide and support forthcoming and future development in Millbrook area as identified in the county's transportation master plan update, and that the County of Peterborough consider extending the study from Fallis Line to Highland Street North, given the new growth and including the new fire and ambulance stations at that location. Moved by Councilor Byrne, seconded by Councilor Natchoff. All in favor? That is approved. Good discussion. Thank you for that, Mr. Hancock. There are no bylaws for review. There is no unfinished business. Any notices of motion? Seeing none, the confirming bylaw number 2024-07 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of the meeting held February 5th, 2024, be read a first, second, and third time. Passed this 5th day of February, signed by the mayor and the clerk, and the corporate seal attached thereto. Moved by Deputy Mayor Huntley, seconded by Councilor Natchoff. All in favor? That is approved. Lastly, motion to adjourn the regular council meeting. Deputy Mayor Huntley, Councilor Edgerton, all in favor? That is approved. There's a number of upcoming meetings. The next regular council meeting is Tuesday, February 20th, after the family day long weekend. The Cabin Monaghan Public Library Board meeting is also Tuesday, February 20th at 7 p.m. The Millbrook Valley Trails Advisory Committee meeting is Monday, February 26th at 4 p.m. The regular council meeting of March 4th, 2024 will commence at 1 p.m. The Millbrook Downtown BIA Board of Management meeting is Thursday, March 7th, 2024 at 8 a.m. And the Municipal Revitalization and Heritage Advisory Committee meeting is on Thursday, March 21st, 2024 at 9 a.m. Thank you for joining us today.